1, 2.
Testing 1, 2. Oh. Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2.
Turn down a little bit. Testing 1, 2, 3. A little more treble. This is a little more treble. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. There you go.
2, 1.
Testing. Now it works.
don't speak English that well. They do. I'm in a bit of trouble with the microphone. There's something wrong with them. So hang on a second.
We're going to try to do a song named Rock Me Baby. It goes something like this here. You like it, huh? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now we'd like to do the song that brought us here in the first place. We'd like to dedicate it to everybody. All 13 of you would like to dedicate it to. And it's a song that goes something like this here. I hope it comes out all right. We have some bad trouble. very much. And now we have a new album which is in England. And it's named Are You Experienced? We're going to do a track for the album that's named Can You See Me? And dig, it goes to the key of F sharp. Can you see me? Right all over the yeah. Can you see me, baby? Right across the road. Can you see me doing it? Seeing the future of 1,000 years. Can you hear me? Come home like you're supposed to do. One, two. Very cool. And then we have another song, goes something like Purple Haze. you very much. I like to say, Dig, I like to say that we have one more song to do, and I like to say that, you know, all this trouble and all this, well, just, you know, just forget about it. And we'll let the dentist. I'd like to do this last song for you, for everybody here. And if you can sing, just join in. If you can't sing, just hum in, you know. And it goes something like this here. Plug your ears. Thank you very much for coming. To me one time. You move me. Talking to me one more time again. I love you.
Welcome to Sweden, Jimi Hendrix.
Well,
And congratulations to your great success out here in Stockholm.
thank you very much.
What about the stage, by the way?
Oh yeah, well, it's like when we played it yesterday, who was at Temple Garden?
Yes.
Well, the PA system was very bad, and the audience didn't really help us too much,
It's tough out there.
Yes, they didn't help us too much, but I think it was all right later on. And the second job we did later on that night was very, very good.
I suppose you would feel much better to work indoor, like, for example, when I've been watching you at the Savile.
Oh yeah, it's a little easier working indoor. It's all right working outside if the PA system is all right. If the amplifiers and everything is set up nice.
What about the effects of lightning and things you can use indoor in a place?
Oh yes, it's better. Like first at the Savile, we used I had this gadget on the guitar that every time I hit a certain note, the lights would go up.
But for the rest of it now, your plans for the future, you're going, for example, to the States. You're planning a big international organization.
Yeah, we're going to the States around, I think we're going to leave about the 10th or the 12th of June. And, we're going to play at the Monterey Pop Festival. And then we have about 4 days at the Fillmore Auditorium. And then, you have this TV and all this other stuff in between.
That's for today and for the future, but how did you really get started?
Well, anyway, I was in the Army for about 13 months, because I got tired of that. It was very boring. And so I pretended that I hurt my back, and I really did break my ankle, so I got out like that, And so I started playing around all over the South. We had a band in Nashville, Tennessee, and I got tired of playing in that because, they didn't want to move anywhere. They just wanted to stay there. So I started traveling around. I went to New York and won first place in the Apollo Amateur Contest, $25. So I stayed up there, starved up there for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I got Isley Brothers asked, the Isley Brothers, with the Twisting Shop, asked if I'd like to, play with them. So I played with them for a while. And I got very bored, because you get very tired of playing behind other people all the time,
Yeah, you got to keep to the routine of the act.
So then I quit them in Nashville somewhere. And went with this guy who was on a tour with B.B. King, Jackie Wilson, and Sam Cooke, and all these people, Chuck Jackson. So I was playing guitar behind a lot of the acts on the tour. And then I got stranded in Kansas City because I missed the bus, So I was in Kansas City, Missouri, and didn't have any money. And this group came up and brought me back to Atlanta, Georgia, where I met Little Richard and I started playing with him for a while.
How long about?
Oh, I guess I played with him for about 6 months, about 5 or 6 months. And I got tired with that, we played some shows with Ike and Tina Turner. Then I went back to New York and played with King Curtis and Joy D. I was playing, but all the time I was playing behind these different groups. And I played with this little rhythm and blues group named Curtis Knight and the Squires. And I made a few records, arranged a few songs for him. And I just got tired, man. I just couldn't stand anymore. So I just went down to the village and got my own little group together named the Rainflowers,
Yeah.
And then we had 2 names, the Rainflowers and the Blue Flame, Any one of those names was all right, So, then I was going with this girl, I had this girlfriend from England that I met in one of the clubs in New York. And she told Chess about me because Chess, the animals were playing in Central Park. So they came down and heard me, and asked would I like to come over to England and start a group over here. Over to England, I said, yeah, So I come over to England and meet Mitch and Noel, Noel Redding, the bass player, and Mitch was the drummer. We put our own arrangement, or, we got it our own way and did it.
Actually, you just didn't pick up those 2 guys, I suppose. They played somewhere else before.
Yeah, Mitch Mitchell, he used to play with the Georgie Fame, the Blue Flames. And Noel Redding used to be in a group named the Loving Kind and the Burnett's. And he used to play guitar until he came down. He came down for the audition for the New Animals for his guitar, And Chess asked him to play the bass. Try playing the bass, So he's been playing the bass ever since. And it's worked out, perfect. And Mitch, he's about the best out of about 20 drummers we heard,
I suppose before you really recorded Hey Joe, you did a lot of club jobs in London.
No, we didn't do too much. I couldn't work too much because I didn't have a work permit. So what they had to do was line up a lot of gigs. So when I did one of the first jobs we ever did was we had about 4 hours practice, and Johnny Halliday asked would we like to come to play at the Paris Olympia with him, and we did. After being together only about 4 days, and after having about 4 hours of practice,
Mm-hmm.
And so,
you went there and...
Yeah, so we came back, we recorded Hey Joe around December. But we couldn't work too much because of the, I didn't get enough jobs to have a long work permit so I could stay in England longer.
And then things really started to happen, and really, you found another song. You didn't find it because you wrote it.
Yeah. All the other ones, on the new LP and, the last 2 records I wrote myself. We write all our own stuff now.
How do you get the ideas of songs, for example, like Purple Haze?
I don't know.
Some people say it's a bit of Dylan in some of your lyrics. Well, if you think of Mary with the traffic lights turning blue.
Well,
Do you think that's right to compare you to Dylan in that?
Well, whatever they want to do, because I don't know who I seem like, because I've been living with myself for about 21 years, so I don't know really, so, I don't care who they compare me with, actually.
But when you write a line like that, for example,
I don't think
you've got
anybody
a
else.
Deep meaning behind it, or is it just
Well, like the traffic lights turn to blue tomorrow, that means like tomorrow everything's going to be, blue. Blue means feeling bad, In other words, like, first, if you do your everyday things, like go across the street or something like that, instead of the traffic lights being red and green, well, there's be blue, because, in your mind, because it's just another story about a breakup, just a girl and boy breaking up, that's all. And, you just say one thing and, excuse me, like you say something like that, but you mean, you just mean something else, There's no hidden meaning, it's just the way you say it. You just express the words.
What would you call it yourself?
I don't know, this is a slow song, that's what I call
it. A slow song.
Mm.
And
slow, quiet.
You got an LP for release in Sweden in about a week's time.
Yeah, I hope so. His name, Are You Experienced? And, it has about 3 or 4 different moods. It has a little, rock and roll. It has about 2 rock and roll songs, which you can call rock and roll, And then it has, it has a blues. And it has a few freak out tunes,
You're not playing psychedelic music anymore.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 in there. There's the one named Are You Experienced is one. That's the name of the, there's a last track on the LP. It's like a, imaginary free form song where you just use your mind, where you just imagine with your mind, And this other song named Third Stone from the Sun. It's completely imaginable, It's just about these cats coming down and taking over Earth. But then they find out they don't really see anything here that's worth taking, except for chickens,
And this thing about Transylvania and...
what do you mean, like vampires and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, that isn't nothing like that. It's just like, the Third Stone from the Sun, it lasts about 7 minutes. And it's instrumental on these guys coming from another planet, And Third Stone from the Sun is Earth, That's what it is. They have Mercury, Venus, and then Earth. And they, observe Earth, for a while. And they think that the smartest animal on the whole Earth is chickens, hens. And so they just, there's nothing else here to offer. They don't like the people so much, so they just blow it up at the end, So you have all these different sounds. All of them are made from this, nothing but a guitar, bass and drums, and then slowed down voices,
Tell us one thing. After watching you, for example, the sound for the introduction of Wild Thing, the plane crash and all what you can describe it like. How do you really get that sound?
I just turn the amp up very loud, and it's mostly feedback and the way you control the knobs. And the back, because I play a Fender Stratocaster guitar, and you can take the back off, a little small plate, and you can tap the springs. There's little springs back there. And it makes these weird little sounds sometimes.
Got some other tricks as well, of course, and aren't you a bit fed up playing Like picking with your teeth and...
Well, you know, I do it just when I feel like it. Like, you know, I don't consider myself that I have to do it. You know, because sometimes we don't do it at all. It's just when I feel like doing it.
Because the audience might expect it from you, really.
Yeah, but you know, as I try to get straight to them now, that it's best not to expect anything from us. You know, it's just best just to go on as it is. You know, because if you expect something, then you might not see it. Then quite naturally you're going to be disappointed. You know.
Some people say, for example, playing with your teeth, that you are also helping with your hands, your fingers, at the same time.
No. It's like playing with your hands like this. You know, you have to move this finger in order to make the notes. So I just instead of picking it with my, you know, with my left hand, I just pick with my teeth. That's all. You know.
And also the guitar, it really seems like it was playing by itself at times. You just keep your...
Well, that's when you play with one hand.
Yeah, only one hand.